Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, third-year quarterback Dak Prescott in the Dallas Cowboys face off with Andrew Luck in the Indianapolis Colts. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
And we welcome you to Lucas Oil Stadium, which opened back in 2008 here in the Circle City of Indianapolis, Indiana. Just a short time ago, smoke from the pyrotechnics filled the dome as the Colts made their way out of the locker room. We're set for football as the Colts get set to match up with the Dallas Cowboys. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to... It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their quarterback, the very, very talented Andrew Luck.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Option right, it's Luck. And he powers his way up past the 30. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper. Here's the offense, and if you're the defense, Charles, you really have to focus on that guy that's highlighted on the screen.
You're talking about pure speed. T.Y. Hilton can get down the middle of the field and really stretch a defense.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack, and he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. And now the defense for Dallas.
The anchor of this Cowboys defense is linebacker Sean Lee. Finished with 118 tackles despite missing 4 full games and the majority of another one in 2017. And you can absolutely see it's a different defense when he's on the field as opposed to when he's off of it. Agile, diagnoses plays well, and a fierce, fierce tackler.
From the gun on third down, Luck. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. David Irving in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. Back deep is Tavon Austin. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by Dak Prescott, the 135th pick in the draft back in 2016 from Mississippi State.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss. Okay, and he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
A second down throw for Prescott. It's caught on the right side. Williams. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Prescott looks to throw on first. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The offensive starters now for the Cowboys.
This offense begins and ends with Ezekiel Elliott. He played in only 10 games last year after leading the league in rushing as a rookie, but still led the league in rushing yards per game for the second year in a row. When he gets his hands on the football, everyone comes to the edge of their seat.
On second down, Prescott again. And that's incomplete. He was looking for Terrence Williams that time. And it's third down. And now a look at the defense for the Colts.
Expected to be a centerpiece of the Colts defense that has to improve, and that's Malik Hooker. Second-year safety out of Ohio State, is limited to just 7 games due to injuries in his rookie season. They love his range, they love his toughness, and they'll need every bit of that in an ever-improving AFC South that likes to throw the ball around.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And he finds Julius Thomas. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory.
Offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
Third and long for Prescott. Throw right side, complete to Williams. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it fourth down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. As the Colts offense makes their way out, we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and in throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. Here's Mack. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Now Love. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they're going to get the first down here as he's up to the 14. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. They'll run it now out of the gun. And good yardage as he gets this one up to about the 23. A look at the numbers for Mack from last week. 17 carries, 81 yards, and a touchdown.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
They'll fake it. Now Locke. He goes full extension, and he's got it. 1st and 10. Locke. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Are you crediting your defense?
Got to credit them on that one because they tried to fool him, right? Tried to trick him. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Starting the drive with a give to Mack. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
To throw on 2nd down is Locke. That'll be caught by Rodgers. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you go lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he fires one, but incomplete. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And this one caught by Beasley. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. Early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least...
It got his man complete. The 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 76 yards. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. And that was just a fly route. There was no stop. He just went.
Yeah, and it was beautiful to watch because you have to set it up as you go along. Everyone knows he's fast, so you play him for that. That's the number one thing you want to take away. But as you go through a game, sometimes you vary the speed in which you come off the line of scrimmage and maybe start a little bit slower, get him to stop his feet a little bit as a defensive back, and then explode and go, as we saw there.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. Bailey got the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a very good return, but a penalty marker is down. I'm not sure what this is going to be.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Call it 7 yards on the carry, so a pretty good gain, but still left with a tough 3rd and 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Luck able to find Hilton there for a Colt 1st down. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 7-0 is our score. We'll come back to Indianapolis after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. The Colts in possession of the football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Luck. Over the middle, complete. That's Doyle. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
They'll run with Mack. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. The Colts on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, here's Love. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Mack. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Luck going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Off of play action, Luck. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now a carry from Mack. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. The Colts on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Out of the gun, Luck. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. So with 4th down coming up, here's Adam Vinatieri now for the Colts field goal. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. So it's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
Fielded about a yard deep. He's going to be stopped here with a penalty marker on the field. I'm not sure what this is about.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15. And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
The face mask moves him all the way out past the 40 now for 1st down. The give is to Elliott. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Clayton Gathers makes the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here's Elliott looking to find a lane, but he can't, reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Here's Prescott, and this is going to be incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Will Fuller, nobody there to stop him. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Will Fuller, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Colts strike quickly here for 6 points. And Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they design every play to score. I don't know how true that is, but he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after. Vinatieri connecting on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. Don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Zeke with a shake and bake. And all the way down to the 29. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. A give to Elliott. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
On 2nd down, Elliott spins by and inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. First opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. On the counter, Elliott. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
The Cowboys will turn it over now to Dan Bailey for the field goal try. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will knot us up at 10. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, let's see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it down.
Now Mack. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Here's Luck now on 2nd down. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
The Colts on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Luck. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now Austin. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
This is Elliott. And not much of an opening there as he's only going to get this to about the 32. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. 3rd and short yardage. Prescott finding fouls complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. First target, first catch, and a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Prescott now on second down. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Prescott on first down. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Jabal Sheard in there yet again. What else is new as he continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. Looking to throw. Prescott. His throw incomplete. Cole Beasley the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. The Colts send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And now Indianapolis set to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They begin the drive on the ground with Mack. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a first down. What makes a draw play like that successful?
Well, we did see where he made the first wave miss, and that was a big part of it. But a lot of it is just being actors back there, making the defense think it's going to be a pass.
Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On second down, here's Locke. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Now Locke. And he's got his man Hilton. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. Now a first down throw, Luck. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. Trying to get that one to his running back, Marlon Mack. And that'll bring up second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Luck now to throw. Fuller brings it in over the middle. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and 10. Prescott to throw it. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Nate Hairston there defensively. Come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Final play of the half. Prescott. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Nate Hairston. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. So we have reached halftime here at a good one. 10-10 is our score. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin up in the Meadowlands. The G-Men hosting Tennessee at MetLife Stadium. And it's the Titans on top as that one draws close to halftime. Rashard Matthews, a touchdown reception. From there, we stay in the Empire State. We head up to Buffalo to check on the Bills. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. The rookie, Josh Allen, with 2 touchdown passes. Lastly, let's get out to Jacksonville. See what's happening with the Jaguars at TIAA Bank Field. And it's the visiting Washington Redskins who have the lead in that one. Jamison Crowder, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected. All tied through one half of play. For the call in the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. Oh, spinning away. Still staying on his feet. Are you serious? And he's brought down after a good gain. 31 yards there and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now Elliott. Down to about the 22 here. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Now Elliott. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
He's going to get it running right. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Now Prescott. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. Jabal Sheard with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they will take the lead at 13-10. They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start. We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Now Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. The lead is theirs here in the third quarter, but it's really been the ground game that's been the recipe for success.
You mean the spotlight isn't shining as brightly on the guy throwing it?
No, it's the man behind him that's had a heck of a game.
And that's really okay. That's actually what you're looking for. I mean, your pride tells you, hey, I want to be responsible. I want to throw a bunch of touchdown passes. But when you're able to run the football, typically speaking, your team's doing pretty well. And in this case, they're winning.
We'll see if they have balance on this drive.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? Three-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. They'll run with Elliott. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Elliott, he shifts pass, and he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with his 19th touchdown, his 2nd of the game. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with the battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Extra point try by Bailey. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be taken in at the 1. And now a hit and a loose football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
As that ball got away from him, and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
Look, and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. A run by Mack to start the drive. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Staying on the ground with Mack. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
Complete to Hilton. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Luck on first down. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Love. Finds a seam inside the 40. He's got it to Hilton. And finally brought down at the 38. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
By the way, 3rd quarter now in Cincinnati as we take a look at the NFL scoreboard. And the Bengals are thinking upset. They lead that one. Andy Dalton, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
To throw on 2nd down is Love. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Call it a gain of 5. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. Now a play fake, and it's Love. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Vinatieri now on to try the field goal for the Colts. on the right hash. Officially, this will be a 51-yard attempt. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game at 20-13. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They go play action here on first down. Looking and finding Allen Hurns. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And they'll run it here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Again, it's Elliott. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell them, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And that's caught by Beasley. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Cowboys with the football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the 4th. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. A handoff left, Elliott. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
To throw is Prescott. He hits Beasley right side. A Dallas 1st down. Prescott hooking up with Beasley.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Allen Hurns with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
And this is what coaches talk about, never being satisfied. No matter what the lead, always trying to increase it. You never know what can happen in this NFL.
Bailey now for the extra point. Oh, this is blocked. Bailey now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because
and he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. From the gun, here's Love. Throw left side is complete to Rodgers. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. The Colts on third down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This is 3rd and 17. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. He gets a good chunk of yards there, 8 all told, but they're still looking at a 4th down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at about the 32. They start on the ground with Elliott. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A first down throw for Prescott. On the left side, he finds Beasley. And he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Prescott now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. A give to Elliott running left. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
They go to Elliott again. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain that time, and it leaves them with 3rd and 11 coming up. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. On the NFL scoreboard, 4th quarter now at Soldier Field. And late in that one, the Bears have now moved in front. If they indeed win, it would be win number 9 on the season. Andrew Luck now, he gears up to lead this offense again. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind, it's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
A good pick up there of 20 yards. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
Luck now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Luck. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. Stopped short of the 25. The nice move couldn't ultimately free him. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
Luck throwing again. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. Desperation time for Luck on 4th down. And he's got Rodgers. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
first down. Luck. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Back to the air. Luck on second down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Doyle. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Luck on third down. Over the middle, complete. That's Doyle. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's first and goal. And a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Throwing again is Luck. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. 3 yards is the gain that time. Second and goal.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Second and goal from inside the 5. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on third and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. They'll run it with Mack. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down.
False start, offense.
Oh, jumping early from his tight end spot. Maybe trying to get a jump start on that route.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right about that. And oftentimes when you see that, that means the play call was supposed to come in his direction, and he was eager to go catch a pass.
And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Chester Rogers, his first touchdown on the year. And the Colts have got it back to a one-score game.
4th and goal, and they found a way to throw it in the end zone for a touchdown.
And these defenses, they just like 3 downs, get off the field. But here they had to go 4, couldn't get it done.
A lot of the time, you're looking up and saying, okay, if I hold them for 3, at worst, I give up a field goal attempt. When they go for it, sometimes it really affects the defense because maybe they're not mentally prepared to go that 4th down.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Vinatieri able to tack on the PAT. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first down. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead. Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Throwing again, Prescott on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, he usually gets it done. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And some room to maneuver. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Now the Colts will use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And they'll run it here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Call it a gain of 11 yards, and that should just about do it.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
The Cowboys on their way to victory as they take a knee. Football League, Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you prime the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Dallas, the final 2 weeks are going to tell the story for them as they move to 9-5 with the win. And they will head home next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Colts, their playoff hopes take a hit as they drop to 7-7. And they will be at home next week to take on the New York Giants. I'm Brandon Gaudin, sir.